The Committee on Education and the Workforce issued a subpoena to the administration of Governor Tim Walz on the Feeding Our Future fraud that happened during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, for starters, what took him so long? Committee on Education and Workforce Chairwoman Virginia Foxx, Foxx, announced the subpoenas are meant to hold the Walz administration accountable for the Feeding Our Future fraud. Does anyone really think they will? Federal officials called it the largest pandemic fraud in the country. The scandal had a significant impact on Minnesota politics, with Republicans demanding accountability from the Walz administration and the Department of Education. A spokesperson for Governor Walz released this statement in response to the subpoena. This was an appalling abuse of a federal COVID-era program. The State Department of Education worked diligently to stop the fraud. That's not true. And we're grateful to the FBI for working with the Department of Education to arrest and charge the individuals involved. Boy, that's not the way I remember it playing out. Heather Mueller left conveniently as it began to pick up steam. And it was only the state's own auditor informed them that you had such poor oversight that you didn't know this was happening. And it's only because law enforcement, in this case the FBI, got involved that it was ever discovered. The first trial focused on 7 Minnesotans accused of a scheme to steal more than $40 million. During the trial, we know all this. Trials for those charged with crimes related to the fraud including conspiracy, wire fraud, money laundering, and bribery are expected to continue well into 2025. The subpoena was announced in a news release from the Committee on Education and the Workforce. Okay, sure. Thank you for doing that. Nothing will come of it. What took you so long? This is just political gamesmanship.
It's posturing. Yeah, if they were serious, this would have happened a long time ago. And I'm sure their excuse is, well, now that he's, there's going to be a chance he's going to be in office, we have to get to the bottom of this. Well, that's BS. You should have done this 3 years ago. Give me a break.
It's just incredible. The more we learn, it's just, boy, it's not comforting, is it?
Do you think this is just part of their effort to stay on the third rail?
Sure.
I mean, we're not going to sit here. We're not going to sit here and tell them not to do it. But we are going to question why at this date and why not then.
While dozens are still awaiting trial, questions remain regarding the role of the Minnesota Department of Education administration of the program. Well, nothing will come of it.
Yeah. Well, just like you've said about the many cases against Trump. It's all posturing. And
after Minnesota Department of Education under Walz failed to respond to previous attempts by the committee, meaning the federal committee, to garner information necessary to uncover how the governor and the USDA allowed such fraud to occur, the committee today is proceeding with a subpoena to compel responses. I also note that Walz has had to be subpoenaed to release records of his behavior during the George Floyd riots. They have to subpoena him to get the stuff and discover what they're going to discover. In the subpoena cover letter to Governor Walz, Chairwoman Foxx wrote, as the chief executive and the highest ranking official in the state of Minnesota, you are responsible for the MDE and its administration of these nutrition programs. Statements in the press by you and your representatives indicate that you and other executive officers were involved or had knowledge of MDE's administration of the fund and responsibilities and actions regarding the fraud. And now there's a subpoena cover letter to the current Commissioner of Education, Willie Jett. On June 25, 2024 and August 9, 2024, the committee received 2 additional productions of documents. Despite these productions, the documents and information provided the committee do not explain how your agency and the USDA failed to identify what has been described as the largest pandemic fraud in the nation. Well, we already know that Willie Jett is on record as saying, I'm not here to point the finger at anybody. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
These people are useless to us. We are led incompetently. The MDE's production of information has been neither timely nor fully responsive. Accordingly, the committee is invoking compulsory processes. Okay. The child, nothing. In June, Chairwoman Foxx, joined by Oversight and Accountability Committee Chairman James Comer, Agriculture Committee Chairman Glenn G.T. Thompson, Nutrition, all these are Republicans. Apparently the Democrats don't give a bleep. Nutrition, Foreign Agriculture, and Horticultural Committee. You don't think the government's too big? The Nutrition, Foreign Agriculture, and Horticulture Subcommittee Chairman Brad Finstead of Minnesota, Representative Tom Emmer, Representative Michelle Fishbach, and Representative Pete Stauber, all of Minnesota, sent a letter to Minnesota Commissioner of Education Willie Jett requesting details on the department's role in this situation. A, nothing will happen. B, the Fed should have been on this 3 years ago.
Does anybody ask them why now? That's what I want to know.
Given what you know about conventional news gathering, do you think there's anybody in the press pool in Washington who would say to Virginia Foxx, what took you so long?
Nope.
No, you're right. I can't. You're right. But it's obviously in response to people now raising the question to them, right?
Here's the sad realization.
No?
Here's the sad realization. Who does the American citizen have to count on to keep things on the straight and narrow?
Ourselves.
We can't count on any of these people. I don't care if they're Republican or Democrats. We can't count on them.
No.
The diminishing of their behavior is a direct result of their being immune to regular life in this country.
It's our job to be self-sufficient. That's what it is. Follow the laws as best you can.
But that's fine, Kenny, but it gets harder and harder to do the more money they take from you.
Well,
may I circle back to the question you asked about 45 seconds ago?
Mm-hmm.
Well, people are trying to ask questions. The governor was in Lancaster. Did you see this video clip?
Our governor?
Governor Walz.
Yes.
I think he's still our governor, is he not?
In name.
Governor, are you going to take any policy questions? Governor, what do you...
He gets up and he walks away. How does he get an effing free pass like that?
But they're both doing the same thing, meaning him and Harris. They're both doing the exact same thing. And it's all by design. Like I think Kenny
But he's
mentioned.
entirely available for comment when he's deciding which donuts he will eat.
Right.
that's why these debates, it's imperative that these debates happen. There shouldn't be an election without debates first.
What if Trump won and he could pull off an audit of the federal government? My
fantastic.
God.
He would be.
Would he be able to do that, or would he be overruled?
He might be ordained.
I don't know what. Well, obviously, so many roadblocks would be thrown up in his way to even attempt that. I don't even know how you'd go about it.
Well, and why would they? Why not? How do you not want it audited after we found out
they
this fraud?
don't want it audited. We do.
That would
They are more powerful than us.
be a perfect
We're
debate
wusses.
question, wouldn't it? Both sides.
Mhm.
I'd like to hear the answer on both sides.
God, it's a brilliant. Wouldn't that be a brilliant prospect? We're auditing the government. Now, for example, let me just go back to something here real briefly. Let's audit. Where were some of those things I was reading? I have them here. Let's audit the Oversight and Accountability Committee. Let's oversight the Agriculture Committee. Let's audit the Nutrition, Foreign Agriculture, and Horticulture Committee.
Okay.
I mean, that's just under the Department of Agriculture. Let's audit the Department of Agriculture. Let's audit the Department of Education.
Too big.
Can you imagine?
It's too big.
Be
That's
like
what
rats.
they're saying. It's too big. You can't do it.
fleeing a burning building.
Yeah, you can. If they get $400 million a year, you say, where did you put it?
Let's audit the State Department.
Okay. I'm
Apparently, according to Dan Apilla, the IRS was attempted to be audited and was discovered that it's a giant mess.
well then
What the hell's
then you have to
going
take
on?
the jigsaw puzzle and do it piece by piece.
And right now, and I guess we're learning it really doesn't make much difference. Nobody's running the country. At least nobody we're aware of.
Right.
Because Biden's in there watching Hopalong Cassidy, and they drag him out for if a team shows up or he's got to pardon a turkey.
Nice reference.
Yeah.
Hopalong Cassidy.
Yeah.
You know, I found ironic there. The first one you said that should be audited
Yeah.
is the Oversight and Accountability
Yeah.
Committee. Shouldn't that be an auditing?
Yeah.
unit in itself?
Yes. Oh my word. Oh my word. Oh.